It could be a story from today. It could be a story in the future. So some stories in the future might be like science fiction. Some stories from the past would be historical fiction. There's lots of different mysteries. So these are all narratives. That means that they're stories. The Lord of the Rings is a narrative, and so is your favorite cartoon. What are some other examples of narratives? So what are some other stories that you can think of? What are some other examples of narratives? Let me add one. I will add the Chronicles of Narnia. Can anyone else come up with an example of a narrative? So we know that the Chronicles of Narnia is a narrative. We know that the Lord of the Rings is a narrative. We know that your favorite cartoon is a narrative. Any other examples of what is a narrative? Very good. Something like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Great. Okay, so we don't have to fill up all these bullet points, but Harry Potter, yep. If you will excuse my not so good handwriting, but I will do a little abbreviation there. Harry Potter, right? And let's get one more. I will give you an extra one. I will put in A Tale of Two Cities, which is a long classic book by Dickens. It's a very good book. You might read it a little bit later there. Alright, so we have these. Can we come up with one more? Perfect. Thank you, Aboni, for the Percy Jackson series. Yeah, I think I've heard of those. I have not read them myself, but if you recommend it, I may. Great. So here we have a long list of narratives. So we have Chronicles of Narnia, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Harry Potter, A Tale of Two Cities, the Percy Jackson series. Now, one thing these all have in common is that they're all fictional narratives. So what does fictional mean? Any guesses on what is fiction? Right, a false story. A fictional narrative is a story that's not true. So it would be really, really cool if the Chronicles of Narnia was true, and if you walked through a closet that you could get to a foreign land and the White Witch and all that. But it's not something that's going to happen in your life or mine. It's something that's probably never happened to anybody. It's fictional, which means it's not true, it's made up or imagined. Now, so these are really great, but none of them are things that would happen to you in real life. Stories from your own life are narratives too, though. So how is that possible? Well, a story from your own life is a little different. It is called a personal narrative. So it's like a narrative, only it's true. It's from your own life. Today we're going to learn how to choose a good personal narrative, how to choose stories from our own life to turn into writing. Now, in order to figure that out, ask yourself, what kind of stories do you like? For instance, I like fantasy and historical fiction. What kinds of stories do you like?